What have you just drawn? What have you just drawn on my window?
Fried eggs and a sausage.
Yeah, it don't look like it to me. It looks like a giant syringe. Wipe that off now. Oh, what is that? I can't make that out. View! Yes, we are down view. Oh, yes. In the rain again. That's right, folks. I'm down view down Westwood Cross, waiting for Lulu and Claire to arrive. And we're going to watch X-Men Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix. Oh, yes. A phoenix that is dark. Dear me. It's raining like crap again. June has been really rainy. Anyway, yes, so I've got about 45 minutes before they arrive. It's only 10 to 11 in the morning and our film is 5 to 12. But they're going to get down here for about 11:30 and then we'll go in and watch Dark Phoenix and make our own minds up whether or not it's shit. But I looked at the seating plan and this is in one of the biggest screens. No one's booked a seat. No one's booked a bloody seat. Oh dear me, so I don't know. We might end up being on our own. If we're on our own, I might just strip off and run around naked, shouting out, X-Men, I love X-Men. Oh God, no, I hope someone comes in the cinema now. Right, let's get going and get wet. Oh shit!
Oh, he's losing his trousers, quick! He's losing his trousers! Save it!
Hi everyone, Big Pauly back for another movie review. And look who's with me. The favourite people. Yes, we've just been into view to see, we do like X-Men. That's like the X Factor, isn't it? X-Men Dark Phoenix. How many X-Men movies is this? Oh God, it's about 8 or 9.
Gazillion.
Yeah, gazillion.
I don't even know if I watched all of them. Actually.
They just keep churning them out. Okie dokie. Okie dokie.
I was gonna say
what?
Obviously the blue guy, the one with the young guy. Obviously these are all young, but that's Kelsey Grammer's character, right?
That's Kelsey Grammer's character.
The blue guy.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. There's going to be spoilers because the stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be. Spoilers
this is going to be a spoiler review. So.
And I'm not into it, and I need to talk about it.
So if you haven't,
usual, I'll probably say nothing.
Yeah. If you haven't, you just sit there looking pretty.
That's the only reason she's in this video.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't seen the film, you might want to switch off or fast forward till later on. Right, okay, first of all, opinions. What did you think?
I didn't hate it.
I quite liked it.
You didn't hate it?
No, I actually only just watched, because it's on Film 4, I only just watched the prequel to this one.
Oh, did you really?
Something X-Men
Apocalypse
or something?
The one that's the worst X-Men movie of all time.
Yeah, it was pretty awful, but it did set the tone for this one. The one with that Egyptian god guy. Or whatever.
Poe Dameron.
Yeah, I think I was falling asleep through it. I was watching it like at midnight and I was falling half asleep, half awake. But every time I woke up, it felt like I hadn't missed anything. So.
Yeah, that's not one of the best X-Men movies, and neither is The Last Stand either, which was X-Men 3. Which kind of, this is like a kind of like a remake of it, really. Yeah, first things first. What the fuck with the timeline? What?
Yeah.
Now Eric, Magneto, was born in the 30s.
Exactly.
Okay, this is set in.
1975.
It starts in 75,
the
but then it goes to 92, which makes him in his 80s at least.
Yeah.
Yet he looks about 40.
Yes.
Right, okay.
He looks Michael Fassbender's age.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender's age. So that's that out of the way. So, yeah, if you're going to see the film, ignore the timeline because it's fucked.
It's like they just don't care anymore, and they're just going to put it because it looks good. Of course, the women that want to see Michael Fassbender, they want to see Michael Fassbender, so they have to put Michael Fassbender as he is now.
Yeah. Also, what the hell happened to Raven slash Mystique?
Yeah.
Because where the flipping hell was she in the following films?
Yeah, she's in all of them.
She's in all of the new,
Who played her character with Kelsey Grammer and that? Who was the character?
it was oh God, what's it? Rebecca Romargin, I think her name is.
Yeah, so she's basically in all those films. So
She's in the original films.
yeah, so something happens to her character in this one that would make it think that she wouldn't be in any future films. I mean, that kind of says it all, really, doesn't it? But anyway.
But I was at least expecting like a teaser at the end, maybe a little hint that she's still around.
Yeah, but Phoenix's power, the one in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, she's buried. She's buried in the ground, so maybe Phoenix comes back and...
Because she's supposed to have the power to give life, take life, whatever. So she's probably going to come back and, something. Or maybe not. Or maybe they just forgotten about the original stuff, like the timeline, and they decided that, you know what? Oh, God, what's her name?
Oh.
We call her Cat Piss. What's her name?
Oh,
Katniss.
yeah. Okay. Jennifer Lawrence. Cat Piss.
Katniss. Was it Cat Piss Evershot or something? I forget the actors' names. I just refer to them as the characters. But
so many actors.
The one that was in Hunger Games.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. She probably thought, well, I can't do any more X-Men films. So thought, we'll write her off.
Yeah, but you can't bloody write her off because you're in the next series of films.
I
know we've had them, but
it's like, what the hell?
You can't say, well, I don't like this character anymore. This kill him, because you're vital to the next series of films in the timeline.
And to be perfectly honest, Jennifer Lawrence was kind of part of the reason why I started watching these.
Yeah, I mean, the original X-Men was what, about 2000 or 2001?
But it had Kelsey Grammer in it, and that was awful.
It's literally about 8 years after this film is the first X-Men movie. So you go from looking like James McAvoy to Patrick Stewart in 8 years.
Which is impossible.
And you go from looking like Michael Fassbender to, what's his name?
I don't know what you mean. The old guy.
Ian McKellen in 8 years. They do not age well. One other thing before sort of like review the film. Halle Berry, who played Storm in the original movies, she didn't have an accent, did she?
She did not have a strong
she did
Egyptian-y, Moroccan-y accent.
I don't know about Egyptian Moroccan. She's going, I'm going down the Chinese to get some poppadoms.
Because in the first one, she was supposed to be in like Morocco or somewhere, or Egypt. It could have been Egypt. I mean, I'm not quite sure where it was supposed to be raised because I kept falling asleep. But you know, the one where they raised the god from the Egyptian god or whatever, with the pyramids and stuff. I imagine that was Egypt, but I can't remember where Halle Berry's young character was based.
Well, as far as I'm aware, Halle Berry in the X-Men just had an American accent.
Yeah, but this one was supposed to have like a Moroccan, African accent or some kind of accent. And now she's like from...
But it's the same character. She's just been moving around the planet and developing...
I don't know.
You're good at accents, aren't you? I can't do accents.
Yeah, for everyone that hasn't heard, Claire's here.
I know my role now, you know.
Thanks for all the positive feedback on my wife. She is lovely, and what can I say, guys? You have good taste.
Or beer goggles.
Good taste.
Oh
Because
dear.
if they have beer goggles, what does that say about my taste?
And yes, for all those people that have been asked if I'm single, no, I'm married.
Yeah, no chance.
We've been together 13 years, guys. I know. I won the lottery. Mind you, she locked out too. So there we go.
Talking of the bloody lottery, did you do the Euro lottery last night?
What, did you win?
No.
No, but one person in the UK got 123 million.
Well, aren't they lucky?
They are lucky, but bastards anyway. But good on them. Yeah. But yes, so timeline's buggered. Halle Berry's buggered. Jennifer Lawrence is completely buggered. Oh, she'd like to be.
Well, you'd like
No,
that.
you like her.
You'd like to bug her.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And who else is in it? We got Cyclops.
Yeah, see, Scott is supposed to be quite young in 8 years' time, so he kind of suits okay.
Yeah.
So, but who plays the original Scott again?
Oh God, I can't remember.
He was in Ally McBeal?
Yes, I think he was.
He
I
was,
think he
wasn't
was
he?
in some of Ally McBeal. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back
Yeah.
in the day. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. But I don't know. This film kind of like felt like it was like two films stuck together, because it was, the first half of it was very low key and very sort of like character driven, and then you get halfway and it's just action all the way. The scenes around the train at the end were like a completely different film.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It was really exciting. But this has had so much bad rap, this film, about being utter trash. And
If I was a diehard fan of the Marvel films, it is Marvel, right? Not DC.
well, it's kind of like it's not
Okay.
officially Marvel. I mean, they have purchased the rights now, so the X-Men characters can now go over into the proper Marvel universe.
Okay, well, I'm not a diehard fan, so I don't really know the ins and outs of it all. But as a standalone film, I liked it. If this was a film standing on its own and it didn't have the history or the future or whatever,
Well, that's how I saw it. So
Yeah.
I didn't know anything of
yeah.
any of the other X-Men films. So.
Oh, you've not seen the other ones?
I don't think so. What?
I think every time we decided to watch one on Netflix or something, you either fell asleep or.
Yeah, probably.
Because I
Then I
don't,
can understand why.
I don't think we been to the cinema, all of us, to see an X-Men movie before.
Did we see Wolverine?
I think we've seen
We've-
Wolverine.
That's- is that
Wolverine
an
is what we've
X-Men
seen.
one?
That's an
Yeah.
X-Men, yeah.
So I've seen Wolverine.
I'm sure we went to see Days of Future Past.
Yes.
And First Class.
Because the Days of Future Past was the one where he's supposed to figure out why he's in a wheelchair? Or was that not the one? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
And it had thingy. I think I'm thinking of the right one. It had Tyrion Lannister in, and that was set in the 70s.
Yeah, could have
And
done.
it was
I
all
wouldn't
like
have seen that,
Nixon,
though.
Wolverine goes back, doesn't
about
he?
President Nixon and his
Yeah.
administration and all that, and trying to come up with these massive robots that will defeat the X-Men and that kind of shit.
Probably. I think I might.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember First Class, but I definitely remember Future Past because I think that's where they're lying on a beach or something towards the end or something. like that.
First Class had Kevin Bacon,
Then I definitely don't remember First
not
Class.
advertising the E or anything.
Because I would have remembered Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he was good in it. He was really good, and that was the first film with like the prequel cast, the younger cast. But that was really good because it also you've seen Mad Men, haven't you?
Mad Men.
Mad Men, set in the 60s.
Oh, the
in
TV series.
the
Mad Men.
TV
Yeah,
series.
Yeah.
John Hamm's wife,
Yeah.
the main character's wife, she was in it as well. I think her name is January Jones. So she had a
Do you
big
know
The
The
blonde one.
blonde one, yeah.
Yeah.
She had a big role in it with Kevin Bacon. Yeah, but that was a really good film.
No, I don't think I watched that one then because I don't remember Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't do anything. And I don't really like him.
And of course, Jean Grey obviously turns into Famke Jensen in the original X-Men movies. And there was a scene in this one, when they went to the suburbia, when she went back to find her dad.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like was identical to the scene from X-Men The Last Stand. Because she did the same thing and tore the house apart and everything.
So basically, they kind of scumpered Jennifer Lawrence's character and Phoenix's character, really. I don't know, whatever she was called in the original films. So they've kind of...
Well, it was just Jean Grey.
Well, Jean Grey.
Yeah.
So the two eye candies, basically, the reasons why I tend to watch these superhero films, even though I don't like them. The two eye candies are the ones that will probably not be, according to what happened in this one, in any others. So it's kind of like this might be the last X-Men film I'm watching.
Yeah, I don't think they're probably going to do another one that will kind of like continue this line because now it's gone fully over to Marvel. So I think they're gonna, to be perfectly honest, I think they might even take the characters and recast them and bring them into the Marvel universe because they've been talking. Charlie Hunnam, Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
They're talking about him playing Wolverine.
Oh, no.
No, they're seriously talking about it. They're seriously talking about it.
Wolverine is Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, but
Jeez.
they're going to take the X-Men characters and just completely give them a new life, and the same with the Fantastic Four. They're going to do another Fantastic Four, but bring them into the Marvel universe and completely recast them.
when you
and the Fantastic Four. Do you know if Elastigirl with it was Jessica Alba from the Fantastic Four movies?
Isn't that The Incredibles?
No, well, yes, kind of like it's like a live action version of The Incredibles, and they had the Rock Man.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was all
Yeah, and they were talking about Dwayne Johnson playing him now.
The Rock.
Yeah,
the Rock Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of fitting. But yeah, as it was a standalone film. I think if you just go in there for some action and adventure and good, what's that? What?
I went in there for a bit of action and adventure.
A bit of action adventure, some eye candy, and I don't know if I can say a good storyline because it did fuck up the storyline with the timeline.
But not if you didn't know.
But if you just go in there. But if you just go in there for a good entertainment for a good 2 hours, then it's a good film. It's a good action romp, as I like to say. But if you're
there wasn't any romping in the film.
No, there wasn't any romping in the film. There was one use of the F word, wasn't there? Towards the end, even though it was a 12A. So
I can't remember. There was a little kid in there as well.
There was a little kid right behind you, and all of a sudden they said.
And there was all this violence and I just thought,
oh, they've seen
I'm
worse.
sure they have.
Yeah,
The video games have probably seen worse. And you.
I mean,
You dropping your popcorn.
half of the 10-year-olds down my town are bloody knifing each other in Penchester Gardens, and smashing little old ladies on the head with beer bottles.
I remember. What was that? What was that cartoon we went to see? Sorry if I offend anybody. But that was the one time I went to see a cartoon film with you and Claire. What was it?
Oh, Sing?
Was it the one where I dropped my popcorn?
I think it might have been Sing.
No, it wasn't Sing.
No.
No.
Oh, that was Shrek.
Could
When
have
you
been
dropped your
Shrek.
popcorn.
That was
It might have been one of the Shrek.
one of the Shrek films.
Yeah, and he had his popcorn. There was little kids, and I mean little kids there. And he drops his popcorn, and he's like, beep 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 beep, effing beep.
Yeah.
Bollocking.
Yeah, and
effing beep.
it was loud, wasn't it?
Yeah, and all the parents are sort of looking at him like, you know.
They were about 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Kids. Doing well.
I dropped my popcorn. Oh dear me.
Well, I found it funny.
That was
We found it funny.
that was our old stomping ground, wasn't it? Cineworld in Ashford, which is where my work colleague Tim went last night.
To watch this.
No, he went to see finally get round to see the Avengers Endgame. He hadn't seen it yet, and he was in Screen 2. And I remember Screen 2 was the deluxe screen, wasn't it?
Oh. I guess it's not deluxe anymore then.
Well, it's not really, isn't it? It's just a regular screen now. It used to be deluxe because they used to serve hot food. No. Yes. Yes, we got a lovely bloody remember of that, haven't we? We got a great memory of that.
What the film was
Oh
we
my
went to
God.
see?
I can't remember what the film was. I just remember making a mad dash for it.
We ordered chicken wings or something.
I had
chicken wings.
Chicken wings, and I think it was potato wedges.
Yeah, and
Because it was all cooked, and they bring you the food to the screen.
And I lived at the time. I think I only lived. Was it 5 minutes from the cinema?
Oh yeah.
Like
It
5
wasn't far, was
It
it?
wasn't very far. So we had these chicken wings, lovely chicken wings. Whatever. Didn't really think anything of it. And then chicken must have been sitting there for a while. And all I remember is as he's turning into my road, he's just going, oh shit! He's going, oh. And I'm looking at him going, you're right. And all of a sudden I'm going, oh.
Yeah, delayed reaction. And it was, oh my God. I mean, you made a mad dash for it.
No, but I knew that it was coming out of both ends. But the saving grace was
with me
you
though.
needed the loo, and I just needed somewhere to puke.
Yeah.
So we basically went like this: kitchen sink, and you went toilet.
Yeah,
and then
but
it
the
went
thing is, you could rush. I couldn't. I was clenching my buttocks together and walking like an android, so it didn't come out. And I was like, I'll be with you in a minute.
You're like,
Oh my God! Oh dear me.
I was just going, whoop. And but you just all you did was phone them to say, look, I don't think you should sell anymore.
Yeah, your food's really dodgy.
And they
I
just
think
turned
we've got
around and
food
said,
poisoning.
You need to prove it and make a phone complaint. He's like, I'm not suing.
Yeah.
That wasn't wonderful.
Yeah,
That's the
you gather up the sick and I'll take the shit in. Here, this is what happened.
I'm glad I wasn't around then.
Needless to say, we had to get the cleaners in.
Oh dear me, that was not nice.
The good thing is you just made it. You had the Crossfire then. You had this really cool sports car. Like Chrysler Crossfire, I think it was.
Was it the Crossfire? No, it was way before that.
Was it?
I'm sure I had the PT Cruiser.
I just remember. Because it had a good stereo, that one.
Oh yeah, and it went like a bomb, didn't it?
So I remember I remember you just turning down as if you were going to turn into a road, and you were like, oh! It just like hit you out of nowhere. And then I just looked at you like you were a bit nuts, and then it hit me out of nowhere. And can you imagine if we both needed the toilet at the same time? That would have been a nightmare.
Oh my god.
There is.
Well, you had a sink anyway, so.
I had a garden.
You had a garden, yeah.
Very gross survival skills. Anyway, sorry guys, but that just reminded us when he said the deluxe screen, and oh my god, that was awful. That was before Claire as well. You're probably going, thank God for that.
Yeah, she was thinking, thank God I wasn't with them.
Well, I did just say that about 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, then there was Sally at work, our old boss, and she had some nachos and cheese in the same Cineworld, and you know where they say the cheese on this nachos is really hot.
Yeah,
be careful.
Beware, it's hot.
And it burnt the inside of her gums, and she sued Cineworld and got about $6,000 out of them.
I know. See, we lost the trick there, didn't we? She just sort of went. But then
yeah, but she had burnt skin to show them. We couldn't show them anything. I wasn't going to walk into Cineworld, put my trousers down, and say, "Yeah, this is where the shit came out."
They got fucking red and fucking.
You could have saved a sample.
Yeah, I could have. Yeah. Oh dear me.
But then I'm not being funny. Don't you go? That's a bit too hot.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
You literally just went. But bless. I kind of remember that actually. I do kind of remember that happening.
Yeah, I don't know how she got money out of them. Because I mean, they put bloody warnings everywhere.
She put it.
You know, it's going to be hot.
Well, I think she just sort of did it there and then, really. And then that's why, from now on, if you go to a cinema, especially Cineworld, the thing is lukewarm. It's practically congealed.
They always make sure that
it's not hot.
It's just above freezing. Yeah, because the hot dogs we've had, they've never been hot, have they? They've never been really hot.
No, nothing's ever hot anymore.
Oh my god. So obviously we've deviated off the film again.
That's how good the film was.
That's how good the film was, yeah. But compared with all the other X-Men's that we've seen, I mean, the original X-Men cast is really the best, isn't it? With Hugh Jackman and Halle Berry and all that. I do like this new cast of, James McAvoy and all that lot. They are good, but I think we have to separate those films from the original ones. Although Days of Future Past was very clever and they mixed both of them in. And there was that brilliant scene because Jean Grey died at the end of X-Men The Last Stand, which was the last one of the original films, and then we never saw her again until I think it was Days of Future Past, right at the very end when Wolverine went back to the school, and it's kind of like a memory, and Jean was there, and that nobody expected that. That was a really well, concealed secret. To actually use Famke Jensen and have that character back again was kind of like a memory. So
and they've buggered it up in this one now. No,
I don't know.
I think they buggered it. Any future kind of thing, they're buggered it up in this one big time. I think they're just trying to make us forget that they even did the other films.
I don't know. I mean, there was a lot more thought in the storyline of things like Days of Future Past and some of the other X-Men movies. I think it's a case of now, well, if we put the X-Men stamp on it and we say that Jennifer Lawrence is going to be in it, we'll get everybody at the box office. Hello.
But yeah, no, that's what it is, I think. And at the end of the day, I prefer these younger cast, obviously, because of the fact that you get the actresses looking nice, but also, and I like Michael Fassbender's character over the old guy.
Magneto,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, he's he looks tougher. He looks like he can, was going to say, he looks like he pumps iron.
He does have a love-hate relationship with Charles, doesn't he?
Yeah.
With James McAvoy.
I prefer this cast better, and it's darker films because they can do more with them. But it just doesn't have the continuity, does it? You just think, what? She can't possibly.
For me personally, I like the banter, and I like the back and forth between Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in the original X-Men movies, because of course that's what we were sort of like introduced with.
We was two old guys just,
at each other's throats. But this younger cast is really good. They could go on with it. Maybe they will, but I think they need to kind of like step outside of the timeline and step outside of the story and just maybe do some separate individual stuff. Don't link it to other characters or don't link it to parts of the previous timeline.
Yeah, plus also, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because I remember, like, when Magneto saying to Phoenix, I forget her, Jean, saying that he's dealt with anger all his life and revenge and stuff, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, because he was in the Holocaust, and then I'm thinking, wait a minute, how old are you again?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What did you when you said that?
And I still remember that scene in X-Men when he was in the Nazi concentration camp, and all the wire fencing got all buckled and everything. That was in the bloody 40s, and we're 1992 or 93 now.
Exactly, and he just looks.
Yeah.
He looks like Michael Fassbender. Yeah. Well, I like the film. I can't comment on previous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go down the route of what the critics are saying, because the critics are like, oh, this is absolutely shit. The timeline's crap. The story's crap. The acting is really wooden. Oh, we haven't talked about the acting, have we? What about Sophie Turner? That played Jean Grey from X-Men, Game of Thrones.
I like.
They said she was so wooden, and that you'd get better acting out of a wooden post.
Well, how else can you act that role, though?
I thought she was really good.
But she's just playing her Game of Thrones character.
Yeah.
That's exactly what is it Sansa Stark?
Yeah.
That's exactly what her role was. Like this meek, I'm afraid, everything, and then towards the end she gets a bit tougher.
Yeah.
And that's just her character.
But funny thing is, you saying that with this being like a superhero and X-Men movie, it's actually an alien invasion movie. It's like It's like Independence Day.
Yeah. But that was another thing. I mean, did they really need to bring aliens into this?
They've never gone down that route with the X-Men before. I mean, I can't say if they were ever in the comics because I never read the comics. But yeah, it's kind of like a little bit out there.
Yeah, they're all a bit aliens, aren't they? I mean, no, the X-Men were never aliens. They were just humans with a mutated gene. Right?
Yeah.
It's like Thor.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, I like the bit at the beginning with the space shuttle and all that. That was kind of cool. And then obviously them getting intercepted by this other alien race or this other alien entity that Jean took all the powers from. But and that's supposed to be the spark that created life or something, they said?
Well, they were pretty much labelling her as God, weren't they? Because that's
the
most powerful thing in the universe. Not the whole is it universes?
Universes?
Is the whole universe what holds all galaxies?
Yeah.
Or is the universe just what holds our galaxy? That's what I don't quite understand.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Brian Cox. I'm sure he'll tell us.
I'm sure he watches your videos.
Ask Alexa.
Ask Alexa, yeah.
Yeah, ask Alexa. Ask Alexa.
You never know. on our next little outing, we might have Tom Hardy in the car reviewing the film with us as well.
Bit of a long shot, but there is a connection to it.
Bit of a long shot, yes. Well, yeah, they do know that my nurse chats to him regularly, and that she's going to ask him if he'd like to appear in one of my videos. So you never know. And
I did say to Paul that being as Tom Hardy is my man crush, my straight crush, that if he actually arranged to meet Tom Hardy and I was not included in that, well, I just think that would just be us over. Because if I had a chance to meet Michelle Gellar and I wouldn't include you, I mean, I'd never do that. Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Trouble is, if Tom Hardy was in this car and my mum was in this car, she'd be just so wet, wouldn't she?
Oh, because it's raining. God, don't.
No.
Oh, don't. No, I think she'd just die with a smile on her face.
I'll probably
Yeah,
be one
she
of the
would.
only women that wouldn't be, to be fair.
Wouldn't be?
No.
Just because he looks like your brother, that's
Do you have a
why.
Yeah.
oh, right. do you have a man crush at all?
It's
I
Thor.
like, I do like Chris Hemsworth. He's a bit of alright.
Yeah, I would.
Sure.
Well, not Chris Hemsworth from Avengers Endgame, because I already look like him.
Thor.
Because he's Thor, his belly's like that.
Isn't he?
All right, okay. I haven't seen that film.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty good film. I enjoyed it, didn't we? We had
Yeah,
good
I
2
did.
hours. So on a scale then of 1 to 10, obviously 1 being shit and 10 being oh! What would you reckon?
What did I give John Wick 3 again?
I think you gave it about 2.
No.
I gave it a 6 and I think you upgraded it
That's
to a 7.
disgusting.
Probably a
No, she
7.
upgraded it to a 7.
That's
7,
disgusting.
Yeah. So I have to say, as much as somebody is going to moan about it, I have to give this one a little bit more than I gave John Wick 3. Because though this was a lot of nonsense action and violence, it did have more of a storyline than just kicking ass for the sake of ass kicking. So I'm going to give it an 8.
That's a very generous rating.
Yeah.
Very
well,
generous.
well, obviously the eye candy helped a lot.
Yeah, even though it was over within like half hour. What do you reckon?
Well, for me, I didn't think much of the eye candy, to be honest. I'll give it a 7.
Is that because she was blue?
Da da dee dum dum.
No, she's not my. Her eyes are a little bit. I don't know.
Chinesey?
Not my type. No,
She's not your type.
not my type at all.
Blue
Okey-dokey.
spiky mutants are just not Claire's type.
No, but just Jennifer Lawrence in general.
Oh, right.
She's an
Okay.
attractive woman, but I wouldn't. So I'm 7.
Can I?
Do what you want.
Anyway,
So you gave it an 8 and you gave it a 7.
Give it a 7.
I'm going to give it a 3. No, just fucking with you. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
ooh, I gave
Yeah.
it the highest score.
You gave it the highest score. Yeah, but then again, look at John Wick. You gave it. What did you give John Wick?
Which one?
The third one.
The third one, a 7.
No, you didn't. You gave it a 3.
No.
No,
I
she
gave
said
it a 6 and then I upgraded it to a 7 because of the dog.
Oh, you did,
Or Halle
yeah.
Berry. I think Halle
That's
Berry's
right.
the one that made me upgrade
Yeah.
to a 7.
And I gave it a 10, I think, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yeah, 7.5. It is a good X-Men movie if you're just going in there for some action and some eye candy and a good, moderately good story. But as far as the other X-Men movies, there's much better X-Men movies, including Days of Future Past. I think Days of Future Past is my favourite out of all of them.
You know, in Deadpool,
Yeah.
they go to that school and it's always that guy that's all like metal and that young kid with
Yeah.
shaved head.
Mm.
Who the heck are they supposed to be? They're X-Men.
They're part of the X-Men, and they go to the same school. They went to Charles Xavier School.
Oh right. They're not. We don't really see them in the films.
No,
Oh, they're just characters they made up for Deadpool.
they're because I think there was a bit of dialogue in one of the Deadpools when he said, "Where's the bloke in the wheelchair?" That kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
kind of funny dialogue. But there is rumour that they may actually be bringing Deadpool into the Marvel universe now, with X-Men and all the
So
others.
when you say Marvel Universe, you mean into the Marvel?
It's the
film?
whole Marvel expanded universe. You know, the whole filmed franchise.
Real film franchise.
Yeah,
Okay.
because certain film companies own the rights to certain franchises. You know, like franchises. You know, like X-Men and you know all the Fantastic Four, Deadpool, all the other characters. But Disney, who own Marvel and like 20th Century Fox now, they just bloody own the planet. They have the rights now to put whatever they want into the films and bring them all together because they bought all the rights for them.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
I
Yes.
actually wanted to see a little teaser about how the rest was going to be, but I hope that the next X-Men film, Phoenix becomes Jean again somehow, and somehow brings Raven back.
Because this one has now got to go into the original X-Men, so there's got to be some gap in the middle to transition that into the original X-Men.
I think they just need to do away with all the original X-Men now and just start this one from where it's at.
Well,
Because
Hugh
nothing
Jackman
makes bloody sense anyway.
Hugh Jackman is finished now, isn't he? He's done. He's done after Logan.
Is he really?
Yeah, yeah. He's hung his claws up. And you didn't like Logan, did you?
Oh no, we didn't like Logan.
You didn't like Logan.
No. Did you like Logan? You
Yeah,
didn't like Logan.
I loved Logan.
No, I meant Claire. Did you like Logan?
Did you think it was it was a bit boring and a bit because it was all mainly set out in the desert and all that?
Yeah. And how Xavier made it all the way down there, I don't like. It was supposed to be quite set in the future.
It's set in the
That old
future when
dude in
all the
wheelchair's still alive.
everything's gone, all the mutants are gone, and you know it's like the remaining days. But do you remember the little girl in it,
Yeah,
Laura?
yeah.
She's actually the new character in. Do you remember the Golden Compass?
Yeah.
With Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
She's playing the little girl character in. It's a BBC adaptation, so it's a BBC series. So that should be quite good.
Okay.
His Dark Materials, I think it was called. And they only ever did the Golden Compass. They didn't do the two books on film, which was a bit of a shame because I liked the first film.
I liked the first film.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Brilliant. Okie dokie.
So it's an 8,
So it's an 8,
a 7.
a 7, and a 7.5. Fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little review of. What was it called?
X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, for some reason I want to keep calling it Phoenix Rising. I don't know why.
I keep wanting to say Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Yes, that's a completely different
Every
franchise.
time we say fantastic, I keep thinking Fantastic Beasts.
And where to find them?
Can't wait for the next one of those.
Oh yeah, oh yes. I think we've got a little bit of a wait for it though. I think it's like another 2 or 3 years. But hey, we got John Wick 4 next year.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll see what I can do with that one. But one of the credits, Anna, that looked good.
Oh yes, it does. What did you say it was?
Red Sparrow.
Red Red Sparrow and
Lucy
Yeah.
combined.
So it's like if, well, Jennifer Lawrence wasn't it in Red Sparrow? So
Yeah, what was
Again,
it?
Jennifer
yeah,
Lawrence.
so it's like that she's actually done her training and she's become a fully fledged spy type of thing, or an assassin, and this is what she's turned into. This is what she's
It's
become.
not Jennifer Lawrence, obviously. I don't know
No,
who
it's
the
not
character
Jennifer.
is. I don't think
No, I
I've
don't
known
even know who
anything.
she is. I don't
But
think I've
it's
seen
like
her
a
anything.
combination of Lucy
Yeah.
and Red Sparrow. Like they've combined it, and you've got this hybrid thing.
Oh, Hannah as well. Do you remember the film Hannah?
Yeah.
That was really good. That's now a TV series.
Yeah, and I haven't got around to watching it. I just don't have too much time.
I don't.
Did you watch Lucy?
I've seen Lucy. Yeah, I like Lucy. It's a
He
good
lends
film.
the Blu-ray.
Yeah. The Blue Boy.
Why do I never remember watching anything?
I don't know.
If you see the film, you remember it.
Do you blank out or something? Fall
Do you
asleep?
remember Atomic Blonde? Again, similar,
Yeah.
but not super powery.
Yeah, that was good.
Right, well, that's that then.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but I can't remember what I was going to say.
You missed the show. He almost lost his trousers earlier.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
You could let them in on the audio.
What?
On the audio.
It was recording at
It
the
was
time.
recording when we realised you
Oh,
lost your
shit,
trousers.
it was, wasn't
I tried to
it?
move the phone round, but
We
I
could have
couldn't
made
move
the phone
it.
round now.
Yeah.
So you could let them
I was,
in on
I
the
was
audio.
trying to take my coat off. I had to step out of the car, and as
In
I was
the rain?
taking my coat off in the rain, my trousers were like coming down. So
I did try and video it for you, but didn't quite happen.
Right.
Okie dokie. Well, what are we going to do now then? Where are we going
I
now?
don't know, go and eat something.
Go and get something to eat.
I need the toilet.
Yes.
And no, I have not eaten any chicken wings.
So I hope you enjoyed our little review of X-Men Dark Phoenix. We're going to go and get something to eat now, and it's very steamed up in here as well again. So, do you want to say goodbye? What was that?
I'm trying to do little fingers, but your phone ain't picking it
Oh
up.
right, yeah, I can see them.
Bunny ears.
Bunny ears, yeah. Do you want to say goodbye then?
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. X-Men!